It's Star Trek time, and in one way or another, G1 Toys is always bold about where we go, and we have decided to venture into the realm of Star Trek with our toy reviews. To prove this point, displayed here today, we bring you the crew of the Starship Enterprise and some stragglers seen in select episodes. We have decided to tackle this version because, in our humble opinion, we really feel it was the best television series in the franchise. Now, let's get an overview of these space cadets. In the Star Trek timeline, occurring 1 century after the original series, the first thing besides original ideas that can be learned from the Next Generation series was an overwhelming attention to character development. Every crew member, every alien species, and every timeline has been explored and exploited in grand fashion within the series. The plots and twists were of a grander scale, as well as the Enterprise itself. This was a collection of voyages unlike the world had seen, and is highly underrated by most, but anyone who's watched it religiously can attest it was a time of magic in the Star Trek world. If you were lucky enough to have traveled to the Star Trek experience at the Hilton in Las Vegas, you could experience and appreciate how epic these sets of television shows and movies were. Some of the most memorable characters include an android that strives to learn human behavior. Data is played by Brent Spiner and adds the elements of humorous dialogue and surprise. Just what this recipe needs for greatness. Other greats include the captain himself, played by Patrick Stewart, who begs for respect and gets it. Even the cocky Will Riker, played by Jonathan Frakes, adds a fresh complement with the captain's authoritative nature. Truly, every character is exactly that, a character unlike the next, with personality that pulls the viewer into wanting more. Even the aliens of Next Generation are memorable and are intricately incorporated into the existing crew, in many cases, such as Locutus of Borg, who takes over the captain's body, and the Tarkanan species that invades the body of Geordi LaForge in the episode of Identity Crisis. There are way too many notable episodes to mention, so we invite you to just sit back and watch this 7-series set at your leisure, and let the journey consume you, along with the imagination that spans across the universe. This collection wasn't acquired because of popularity. This set was attained because I personally enjoyed the show so much that I had to own a part of the television history we see here today. We'll be honest, the detail is lacking on these figures, but the visual appeal is still there if you're a fan. I like the way Playmates gave them a comic book feel, but kept everyone recognizable. Well, most of them. Also, most of the figures came with an action figure stand in the packaging, which I thought was a great idea. They came with the name portrayed there on that sticker there, as you see. So that was really cool. I like the fact that they did that with the packaging. That was awesome. And plus, it gives every figure a stand to stand on there. I really dig that. I think that's a great idea by Playmates to do that. They're great, excellent ideas for this line of toys. The scale was a bit confusing. These figures came in right at about 4.5 inches. Some of them 4 3/4 of an inch when they're off of their stand there. As you can see, they're not too tall. So they were kind of strange, and they didn't really work well with your other Star Trek figures if you were to display them with other lines of Star Trek toys. That's kind of where they faltered in production, was also their choice of accessories that they chose. I mean, most of these accessories here, as you see, are pretty lame. They were plentiful. There's a lot there, but there wasn't much thought or detail put into the weapons for the series. Most of the main crew are packed with lame neon tricorders or suitcases, which seem to hold no realism to the show and lack of good detail. The articulation is fairly weak as well, with the majority of the figures having only 11 points of articulation. But besides the bad things, there are so many good reasons to own at least some of these figures. Take the Borg, for example. These guys were just some of the coolest villains I've ever seen in any movie, any TV show. They were so amazing, guys. I mean, even on these little small figures, there's a lot of detail going on with this guy here. So I thought the Borg were fantastic. Definitely some of my favorite enemies ever developed in a TV show. The renditions are actually done very well, and they capture the Borg's menacing stance, as you can see right here. There's a lot of good detail, too, in the gun. As you can see there close up, there's a lot of sweet detail going on in there. So that sculpt had to take a while to do that for the Borg, for sure. So I love it, guys. That's a cool part of this set, for sure, is the Borg enemy. Everyone down to their names are well thought out, and they fit the characters well, despite the sometimes cheesy dialogue in this show. So with the small collection of Star Trek, we see some of the coolest toys around. We really do. The spaceships, the transporter, and the bridge in particular were some of my coolest toys, and I'm going to go ahead and demo those later for you. But in the meantime, let's do a stellar grading for this set. Guys, we're going to break this set down now into categories, starting with appearance. And I really like the way they made these figures have the likenesses of the characters from the show. It really does remind me of the actual TV show and the movies as well. So I really like this set as a whole in appearance. I'm going to give it an 8 in that category. And I feel that it's just really well done. It came out in 1993. So, I mean, you can't expect a ton from that year. But, you know, they really nailed it, I think, with this set. The scale's a little weird, but otherwise looks great. I'm going to give that a straight 8 in appearance. Guys, in this next field, we're going to veer off course just a little bit. So, set the computers for a different destination. We're going to be going into the field of nostalgia with this set. It is a 1993 set, and so because of that reason, I've decided to change articulation, since most of these figures have the same articulation, to the nostalgia category. And I believe in this category, I will give this set a 7. Every time I look at these guys, it reminds me of the show, it reminds me of the movie. It's very fun. It's very cool to set these up. And the toys they came with were awesome. The play sets were awesome with these guys. So, that's a good grade for that category. It's an average grade. It's not incredible, but it is above average for sure. And I do think that everybody who gets any figures in this set will feel that nostalgia I'm feeling as well. So going into the next category. Set your phasers towards stun as we attack the category of collectability. Now, this set is not a highly collectible set. I'm going to say that because basically it's the second release of these figures. The first release was by Galoob, and they were quite a bit different looking, and they came on different looking cards as well. So with this set, it was the second release set. It's technically not the G1 set of Star Trek, The Next Generation. However, there were quite a bit more characters they made in this second line of Star Trek Next Generation figures, which in my opinion made this more sought after, I believe, as a collector. So I think that the collectability was good on this set, but I don't think that it was highly collectible, especially since it's the second wave after the vintage Star Trek, that is. So as a whole, I don't see a lot of people collecting these, and I don't see it being a very popular collectible. The price tags will pretty much tell you that when you go look for these on eBay. They're not a whole lot of money to get after the fact. So I think in collectability, I'm going to give this whole set a 6, which is just barely above average. I'm a Star Trek fan myself, but not everybody is. So you really got to just kind of let this show grow on you. And once it does, I think it becomes a main part of all your nostalgic and history that you like with when it comes to science fiction. So really good set. I'm not saying anything. The 6th grade is not really anything that I'm doing because I feel it deserves a low grade. I just feel that it's not very popular, and because of that, I guess I'll just let media and mainstream dictate this grade a little bit here and give it the 6. But let's move into the final category and give you this overall score. The end has come, and we've taken a few steps back here to reflect on this whole group of action figures and give it an overall score for all of you to consider for purchases in the future. Now, this set as a whole, after you take it in and you just realize how much it does really make you feel like you're in that show again, like you're actually playing with the figures from the show. It's really awesome, guys. I mean, the accessories suck, let's be honest. They all suck. But there's a lot of them, so it's kind of cool. The hard part about that is to keep track of them all. If you want a complete figure, you're going to really have to keep these bagged and tucked away somewhere so you don't lose those accessories. But, I really like this set, and I give it an above-average overall score of 7.25. I think for the most part, in my mind and opinion, this set would get a 9. But, all things considered, with the accessories and some of the bad planning, I think, on some of the Playmates action figures here, I will keep the grade at a 7.25, which is a good overall score. And we will go ahead and wrap this up for you here momentarily. We will say a preemptive thank you to all the Trekkies out there who wanted to see this line of toys reviewed. The fact that some of these have already been re-released in a different scale with better detail is not fictional. Diamond Select has some really great looking 7-inch figures, but there's just something about the first toy releases that tickle our action figure bones. There really is a cult demand for more characters to be made, so there's still hope, but not quite a new hope. We'll leave that to Star Wars. Thank you all for watching, and especially to all of the faithful return watchers. Without you guys, it would be a complete waste of time, so show that support you have and subscribe. I promise to keep awesome reviews coming. Also, if you want to find some cool items, check out our eBay store at G1 Toys 2015. The G1 lesson of the day says an alien race is watching you, so watch them back. Heed these words as you stargaze and channel your inner toy.
We've charted a course for the Library tar pits, Captain.
Very good. I always wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And our own Counselor Troy has been waiting anxiously to rendezvous with the rest of us. Make it so, Mr. Data.
Curious. The phrase, "make it so," has no definite origin, but it was thought to originate in military circles.
Thank you, Mr. Data.
You're welcome. Of course, you make the phrase your own, sir.
I should hope so. Now, laying a course to the Library tar pits, Warp 6. Engage, Mr. Worf. Yes, Captain. I'm afraid the transporter is showing signs of sputtering, for lack of a better word. Why can't these damn things ever work? I've been to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, and I can't even get to the bloody surface of Earth to observe the pits.
Inquiry. The concept of irony is fascinating, and I pose a question.
Well, go on, Mr. Data.
You obviously are showing signs of cynicism due to your plight. Would this not be considered the pits?
I've gotten power restored, sir. Excellent, Chief O'Brien. Saved by the bell, Data. I have the coordinates locked in, sir. Energize. Well then, here we are. Ah, Counselor Troy's shuttle. She must be around here somewhere.
Yes, Captain. I'm here, but there's a presence that will not let me leave this place. I sense pure irritability, much like that of a child.
Data, I want you to run a full scan of the surroundings.
Yes, Captain. No forms of life present, sir.
Show yourself! Who are you?
I have many names. The Ballbuster, Ass Clown, Cockalorum, Sloppy Nuts. Yes, we get the idea. But why are you detaining my crew member? I have been put here by the Ancient Ones to annoy everyone. So far, you're doing a damn good job.
Interesting. A life form that feeds on irritability.
And you are like an aluminum can to me. I would just kick you down the street when I'm bored. You will do no such thing. Good. Your hatred makes me stronger.
I've just about had enough of you. You give us back our counselor and stop making fun of androids. He's the best hook'em junk I've ever been with.
Let me just say, your haircut is horrible.
Why, I oughta... Ah!
Beverly, medical emergency.
I'm here, Captain. She's dead. Scanners indicate she's been annoyed to death.
What will it take for you to let my people go? How about $5? I'll arrange the transfer, but I must speak with my crew member.
Captain, he has no intention of letting me go.
Here's what we'll do. I'll arrange the payment transfer and beam down your mother as we beam safely to the ship. It's the least I can do after it killed one of my officers.
Well, it is for the greater good.
Then it's settled. I've decided to give you $10 just because you're the most fascinating life form we've come across so far. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Picard.
Enterprise, 2 to beam up.
Oh, what a filthy place! If we are to be married, I am going to need a maid. You're a lot slimier than my last husband. Are you going to stay in puddle form forever? Oh, damn, I broke a nail in the transporter.
Damn you, Picard!